So I just thought I'd knock up a quick one for you guys. It's been a while. This fly, I often get asked like what I use for really small hatches, or when the fish are on really tiny stuff, what fly I use. And pretty much this is a pattern I've used for a couple of seasons now. I saw something similar in Bosnia when I went over there, and I'll be honest, I really like the pattern, and it served me well. So I'm going to tie it up here. It's a size 22 hook. I've gone for the slightly larger size just so you can see what I'm doing. But it's a tactical Midge hook, the new one by Fully Mill, in a 22. But I'll tie these on curved hooks or straight hooks, right the way down into as small as you can get the hooks. I'm just going to come in with 18.0 Nanosilk, which I've just waxed up a little bit. It's a great thread for these smaller flies. It's just so strong for the size. Just going to coat the hook there and then come in with the scissors and trim the tag off. From there I'm just going to come back up the hook until my thread is about an eye's width back, as you can see just there. From there I've got two CDC feathers. They're natural but they're light. Natural CDC comes in all sorts of shades, but I've picked out some light feathers there, just two of them. I'm just going to measure this up now. I'm going to measure it up about the length of the hook, which for most patterns would almost be too long, but on small flies I don't mind having that slightly longer puff of CDC. So I'm just going to pull that like that to just extend the length of that slightly to about that. Don't want to overdo it. There's two reasons why I go slightly longer. Number one, buoyancy, obviously it's CDC, but number two, by having that slightly longer wing, it's so much more visible on the water, so much more visible. So trim that on the angle, and I'm just going to come back now and tidy that up with thread and work my way back down the hook. At this point I'm going to make life easy for myself, and I'm going to take the hook out and just turn it, and from there I'm going to come down further until I'm at the point where the hook starts to bend. From there I'm going to take some of this mirror tinsel in Mirage, nice thin diameter, and it's a lovely light material to suggest a shook on the back of the fly. It adds that nice little bit of shine to grab a fish's attention, but it doesn't add much weight, which is key I feel for flies in this size. I'm just going to work up the body there. Going to come in with the scissors, trim off there. I'm going to measure it. I don't normally measure it, I sort of know it now by eye, but about the length of the body, slightly shorter. I'll probably go slightly shorter, dip a little bit off. You have to remember, if you're imitating a shook, whatever the body of the fly is, it essentially comes from the shook, so there's no need to go too short with them. I see sometimes really tiny shook imitations. Just going to come down a few more wraps just to cock that Mirage downwards, and come back up and just do some wraps now just to build a little bit of a body. And don't want to go too mad with it, I don't want to add unnecessary bulk. It's also why I've used the 18.0 Nanosilk. So I'm going to tip that back up right, turn this upside down and trim that little end off. I'm going to come in here, wax a thread, and you can use whatever dubbing you like, but you need something light. If you use furs, hare's ear, squirrel, it does absorb a little bit of water, seal's fur, and it adds weight. So I like using synthetics here. I'm using the Semperfli Superfine in the Semperfli Superfine. I put my teeth back in the ice peacock green. And I'm going to take the smallest, tiniest pinch just there. I'm going to lick my fingers because this is quite difficult stuff to work with sometimes. And I'm just going to pull it all apart to make nice small fibres. And I'm going to dub away here. Lick my fingers again just to help it adhere to the thread. Like so. I'll do 1 turn, 2 turns, just see where we are. I'll do 3. I think I want a tiny bit more on the thread there. So I'm going to stop. No need to rush the process and go too quick too soon. Just going to dub that on. I'm going to eat half of it as well whilst I'm doing it. I'm just going to come in there, I'm going to catch that first and then pull straight. Go back a bit, see we've got that little loose bit there. So I'm just going to straighten it out. It's important that you can just mess around with the dubbing. You don't have to go all set. Now this is the important part. Right now I'm going to lift this wing and I'm going to drop a wrap in front of the wing there, and all that does is just cock that wing up like so. I'm just going to pull away these fibres to keep them out of the way. 2 turns at the eye just to lock that in place. I'm still eating half of it. But I'm going to come in with a whip finish there, and this is the beauty of this 18-0 thread as well by Semperfli. You can sort of really make tiny neat heads without creating any unnecessary bulk on these smaller flies. And as you can see, that's the finished fly. I'll nick it on my thumb so I can show you the shuck. So it's got this lovely cropped up imitation, nice fine dubbing to imitate legs and body, and a lovely profile as it sits out in the water. So give this one a try, fish it, tail out to pools. Grayling love this, Trout love this. I'd really recommend having a few of these in your box in tiny sizes. Thanks for watching.